in the hood with it. Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button thing. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. Thank you. I know I couldn't do without you, man. Gracias. So are you guys ready for a new super? Que F, right? Super Ooze. Yes, this is a two-part series, man. This ain't going to be one of those series that keeps dragging on and on and on, because I have a whole bunch of crazy stories like the ones with Super Norteño and, of course, our favorite white man, Roachwood, brother, right? This is about the Usos and me being set up with an Uso. And I've done a lot of time with Usos. Who hasn't, right? The Polynesian partners. I'm going to tell you right now, Usos are the greatest people ever created. They are the nicest people on earth that will choke the dog shit out of you. That's just real life, right? I get along with the Usos. Got a lot of love from the Tokos, the Tongans, the Samoans, all Hawaiians. Anyone who's born on the island, I'm cool with. Guamanians, respect. Zane Cruz, respect, right? Got a lot of love, man, for Polynesian people. But I will say this, man. They're not nothing to joke with. And every once in a while, you're going to have one that's just different from the others. One that's a little hard-headed, right? And Tracy Prison, DVI, 2006, I believe it was. The end of 2006. Active, still in the mix, man. I get set up with an Uso, right? They bring an Uso to my cell, and this guy we called Lion. And I remember that day he got there. My cellie, prior to me getting there, man, was a good homie. They shipped him to fucking SADF, New Corcoran Sea Yard, active. He was going to the 4-yard over there, doing his thing. And I remember, and just like any other place when you're locked up, you're like, who the fuck is going to be my next cellie, man? You know it's probably going to be a homie. All of a sudden, it's like a dark shadow came in front of my room. I couldn't see no more, right? I couldn't see. All I seen was chin against the window. They told him, turn against the wall, right? They're uncuffing this dude. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where are they bringing this guy? They were actually bringing him from K-Wing, which is the hole to my cell, right? And I said, oh shit, this is a big ass homie, right? I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't have shit, but I started moving shit out of the way. You know, how do you do that? So I start making room. And all of a sudden, man, they open this door and this big old gigantic fucking Samoan walks in my door, right? And it kind of reminded me of one of the Samoan SWAT team from the WWE. And like I said, it was like a total eclipse in the room. The room got darker when he walked in. He's like, sup, Us? I said, what's up, Sole? I know a little Uso just because I fucked with them tough, right? What's up? That means brother, right? I try to be cool. And I don't like to get choked, right? So I'm just trying to be cool. And this dude's hair, he had a mane. So he had a big old fro that he combed backwards and it was all bushed out. He looked like a lion. He looked like one of the Booyah tribe, right? So as he walks in, I remember thinking, damn, this is a big old motherfucker. If I try, even if he tries to do something bad to me, what can I do? Even if I try to put a knife in him, it's got to get through so many folds of skin. There's nothing I can do. He was a good 350, just a big solid monster. And he walks in, and I remember his fucking eyes were crazy, like he was on a good one. And I was like, oh shit. I never, to this day, I've never seen an Uso like that. They always come in real humble, real nice. Hey, what's up? I talked to plenty of them on the yard, right? They run other on the prison yards. So anyways, this motherfucker comes in my cell, right? He's being quiet. He's like, what's up, Uso? He's making his bed, doing his thing. I'm like, hey, bro, you want the bottom bunk? He's like, nah, I like the top. Said, right? Whatever. So I'm thinking, damn, I hope that the fucking bolts and these old ass bolts in DVI are going to be able to hold him up. So he goes to get some water and he's like, fucking dirty ass water. So he starts telling me stories. Yeah, man, I come to Tracy all the time. I'm always in on violations. I said, yeah. And I want to ask him for his paperwork. Like, I want to ask him what he's in for, but I just can't figure out a way to do it without getting the shit slapped out of me. So I just kind of like, hey, bro, yeah, so I'm in on this. I'm trying to give him hints and shit, right? Yeah, I'm in on this and shit, bro. Solid, woo, active Norteño, whatever. And he was like, oh, yeah. Oh, my paperwork, bro. Hey, yeah. I got you, right? So he comes in. He's in on a violation, some bullshit. He's like, yeah, I got to go to board. He's like, bro, I've been to Tracy 29 times. I'm like, for reals? He's like, bro, I know every cop in here. So he's one of those know-it-alls. He knows every cop. They know him. He has juice. We're going to get double lunches. We're going to get everything. No, he's going to get double lunches. I ain't going to get shit. Fuck around with me. He might get triple lunches because I'm too scared to eat in front of him, right? So I'm like, damn, he's just a big, every time he moves, his arm like travels after him. So he'll move and then his back arm will go woof after him. So I'm like tripping, like, fuck. It's a big old dude, right? Crazy ass hair, dirty ass hair going everywhere. He's trying to comb his hair with his hands and you can hear it just ripping out. as he's pulling. I'm like, oh no. And the homie's getting at me. He's like, hey, Spencer, homie. Hey, brother Gunner. So I'm like, you will. He's like, hey, bro, is that a homie they brought in there? I said, nah, bro, he's a Uso and shit. He said, where's he from, homie? And I haven't even asked him. I'm like, hey, be patient. All right. So I'm like, hey, where you from? He's like, I'm from Stockton, bro. All right, cool. And so I'm like, yeah, what do they call you? He's like, they call me Lion. And after seeing his hair and the fucking fucked up jagged teeth he has, they call him Lion. Well, why, homie? Because he looks like he's going to bite something, right? So we get to chopping up. He's cool. But again, he knows everybody, right? So I'm laying on my bunk, right? Trying to not fart or do nothing that's going to upset this big old monster, right? And this fool's farting away. Hey, my bad, Eddie. My bad, Eddie. Right? He has like a heavy accent, so you can't really understand him. But I understand enough to know not to get my ass whooped. So I jump off my bunk. We're chopping it up. And this fool says, hey, you like music? So we start vibing on the music. I'm like, yeah, both my parents were DJs, whoop-de-whoop. Hey, music is universal, right? So we could chop it up. He's like, yeah, I sing. And I'm like, okay, this motherfucker does it all. This motherfucker's been everywhere, does it all, knows everyone, right? But I'm noticing as the tier tenders are passing, they're like, what's up, Lion? What's up, Lion? So he wasn't lying. Everyone knew Lion, right? So I'm like, oh, shit. Either that or they just didn't want him to whip their ass. Now, I'm saying that to say this. I witnessed it, okay? So watch what happens. So anyways, we chop it up, and this guy starts singing, but he's singing in Samoan. Now, I ain't gonna lie, he was like a mix between Johnny Gill and Al Green. That's a wide margin, right? But he was somewhere in the mean side, in between side. He was right in the middle, right? So he hit that high note, la ha, brother, right? So he had that Barry White practice what you preach going on, and that informer, you know what, right? So he was a mix. So I ain't gonna lie, he could sing good, but he kept singing in Samoan. So I was like, hey, bro, why don't you hit some of that Usher? No Diddy, right? Or sing some of that, Jodeci or something. So he's like, no, I don't sing those type of songs. Oos, I only sing, for my culture. And I'm like, all right. So this motherfucker will go, hey, usually this is how it is in Tracy. There's a big old window. Your windows are busted out and everybody's talking on the wire, right? But as a Norteño, you got to be respectful of those on the tier or on the wire. So you say, dispensa, homes on the tira, or dispensa on the wire. Can I get at the homie real quick? Just a professional way of being professional, right? Brothers and everyone else is like, man, fuck that shit, right? They're yelling and everyone's screaming. But I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of respect. Prison's all about respect, right? You don't want to talk over the wrong person because then the wrong person is gonna choke the shit out of you. And so my celly, being a big old monster the way he is, he has no respect for none of that shit. That fool gets straight to the, hey, Oos, where's the Usos at? Ain't not a damn Uso in sight. That motherfucker starts singing in Samoan. People are like, hey, arr, arr, arr. They're trying to clown, right? And he's getting upset. I could see he's combing his hair. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. He's going to take this shit out on me, right? So luckily, one of the homeboys, he's a tier tender. He comes by, and one of my homeboys from my neighborhood was on the bottom tier. We were on the second tier, right? So the homeboy shot me a few sopas, shot me like 4 sopas. So me being the kind of homie I am, you don't eat in front of your celly. That's proper prison etiquette, right? You look out for your celly. Man, when them soups came sliding under that door, that motherfucker looked at me with one eye like that. He was like, I'm hungry, Oos. I said, I got you. You want 3 of these motherfuckers, right? He's like, nah, just 2, right? So we're busting a little spread, man. We take our lunches, our sack lunches, boom, mix them up. Now he's in there for a few days, and I could barely breathe because between Samoan sweat and shit, it's starting to get, it's just smelling islandish right there. Not island boys, but islandish, right? So it actually smelled like you'd get like a Hawaiian breeze with breeze, right? So it was pretty bad. And there's this cops that's walking by. So he's at the door. And usually you'll have one homeboy at the door. Now, you remember, I'm an active Norteño, so I got to be on the ground. I'm fishing all the time out of the door. I got fucking paperwork coming this way. I was actually at that time the tier security, the TS, right? For the Norteños. That means anybody that came new on that particular tier on my side, because they have a TS on each side. And there's 3 tiers in Tracy Prison. And it's just reception, right? Because so many people are coming and going, I need to monitor all this. Getting wheelouts from the homeboys, running fucking checks, just doing what I do, right? And I'm getting ready to leave the prison anyways. I just picked up my 4-year term, so I was ready to go. And this guy right here, he's waiting to go to Valdivia on a violation because he's been there 2,900 fucking times. He's been there more times than Diddy has bottles of fucking baby oil. So anyways, he sees this cop walk by. He's like, I don't like this fool, oos. This fool's a punk, right? And now this cop that's walking by, he is kind of an asshole. He's the type, man, like, hey, you'd be like, hey, man, I need to get at you, man. Something's going on here. My water. He'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Do I look like the person that you want to talk to? Very disrespectful, but keeps it cool with the gang members. You know, the people that are really doing their thing, because he knows this cop is seasoned. Paprika. He knows who to keep it cool with, who not to keep it cool with, right? Lion don't like him for whatever reason, right? So as he walks by, Lion's like, watch, I'm going to get this motherfucker to give us an extra tray. I'm like, bro, they ain't going to give us an extra tray. We were on a lockdown situation. So when you're on lockdown in Tracy, they bring your trays to you. You don't get action at the chow hall, right? Only when you're off of lockdown do you get to go walk through the hallways to the chow hall. And that's where should be cracking off. So we were on lockdown because the Norteños and the whites had been getting off. It was the Norteños and the wolf pack, right? There was actually a body that got caught, and the Norteños killed a wolf pack of wood on the yard, like maybe 6-7 months before I got there, right? And then the woods retaliated, where the COs, they took a whole bunch of Norteños, like 4 or 5 of them, and placed them in the chow hall, and with a whole bunch of woods, and the woods got off on them and smashed them out, right? So it was going back and forth. But it wasn't all woods, but they were riding with the wolf pack, and then later on, they kind of deemed the wolf pack, whatever, there was shit going on. So everybody was on lockdown, even others, blacks, everybody. They just were like, fuck all you guys are killers. So we're in there, and so he tells that cop, hey, I forget the cop's name. He was a Mexican dude, bald, right? He's like, hey, and he was like, oh, what's up, Lion? He was like, yeah, hey, Oos, give me a Marcelli, extra tray, right? That's how he talks. And he said, I'll give you one, but I don't know about your celly. I don't know him like that. I'm like, it's cool, bro. Don't even bring attention to me. I got wheelers and shit going on. I'm like, right? And remember, I got someone from a different group, so I can't really be showing my household business to him. In fact, I don't even know why the fuck he was in there with me. But I ain't going to tell him nothing. I ain't going to kick him out. I'm going to tell you that much, right? Unless he was a chomo, then I would have had to die in there. So anyways, he's like, all right, just give me a tray. And I'm thinking, oh, man, this fool's just going to fucking get the double up on me and just eat in front of me. No. This motherfucker got the extra tray. First thing he did, we had Salisbury steak. I'll never forget. He cut that motherfucker in half, bro, like right to the eye. He was, with his big-ass head, he was eyeballing it. Hair everywhere. I didn't want none of the mashed potatoes. He was like, want some of these potatoes, Oos? I was like, minus the hair, yeah, but nah, I'm cool, right? He chopped that Salisbury steak. He didn't even ask me. That motherfucker just grabbed it with a spoon and threw half on my fucking tray. I was like, fuck it, I guess I'm eating after a noose, right? And that's just what it was. So, it's shower time, right? And so they would release 3 or 4 cells to shower, okay? Where they were lightweight. So this is what they do with the program. We're in a lockdown situation, so they'll shower like northerners. Then they'll shower like whites, and then the blacks. Or they'll just release cells 2 or 3 at a time, right? However they do it, but they were releasing by race or cell. And so the northerners, and he was my celly, so I don't know what the fuck he was, to tell you the truth. He never told me if he was a Crip, Blood, North, South. I never asked him because, again, I like my neck unchoked, right? So I was getting cool with them, but I was calling him on his bullshit. I was like getting upset because he would be lying about shit. He'd be like, yeah, bro, and last time I was here, man, the Norteños, man, him and the Southsiders went at it on the yard. And I'm like, there ain't no goddamn way. They keep us segregated. But his story and his fucking big ass hands, I'm going to let him tell it, right? I'm just going to listen. So we're going to showers. That same cop is working. So he's like, hey, I'm going to get some extra bars of soap, some of the state soap. For some reason, he liked to use the little bars of state soap. And I was like, ooh, don't even trip, man. I'll get one of the homeboys to break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, shoot me a soap, and I got you, right? He's like, nah, Oos, I like using that soap. I'm going to punk this cop for a whole bunch of them, right? Then we can play dominoes and shit. He wanted to make dominoes out of it. And I was like, fuck it, it's boring in there anyways. Let's see what he's capable of. So as he's going to shower, now, you got to understand, this motherfucker had to tie 3 towels together to wrap him around his big ass, right? He was big. Hey, they didn't have shirts that fit him. They had a special order shit. He was a big fucking dude. And so we're walking. I'm going to shower. The homies are like, damn, fool, you got a big ass celly. That's a homie. Right? Don't say nothing. Don't do too much. Right? So I get to shower. I'm chopping up with the homeboy from Sakura. We're chopping it up. He's like, damn, what's up, bro? I said, yeah, he's a Uso, bro. I don't even know if he's a homie or not. He said, he ain't told you he's with the business? I said, has he told you, fool? You fucking got more power than I do here. He was the building channel. He was like, nah, he ain't told me shit. I said, hey, well, ask him. He was like, nah, I'm cool. You ask him, fool. That's your celly. Hey, no, you ask him. No, you ask him. No, you ask him. Hey, can I borrow a piece of soap? So anyways, this fool's talking to the cop, right? And he's over there for a long time. They're like, hey, what's up with your celly? Talking to the black guy. So he's trying to get some bars of soap, bro. He knows all these cops and shit. And there's all kinds of people. When he walks by, he was like a hood celebrity in there. Big Lion. What's up, Lion? All the blacks. What's up, brother? What's up? He's like, what's up, Oos? What's up, Oos? And Usos usually are very quiet. They don't say much. They're just cool with everyone. They'll just nod their head. Like, you know? This motherfucker was different. He was flamboyant. He was like, la, I'm here, right? He wanted everyone to know he was here. And I'm like, damn, bro, why always get stuck with the wild ones for cellies? They either stink like shit or they're fucking, you know, I always get off-brand cellies. But he was cool. And if you're out there lying, we're always going to be cool, brother. I'll never forget, right? So anyways, I'm walking back from the shower. He's still out there. So I go in my cell. This motherfucker's still out. He hasn't even showered yet. They're releasing other cells and shit. I guess he had juice. And when he comes back to the cell, he's like, man, that cop only gave me this money to give me enough for Domino's. I was like, he's like, man, I'm going to fuck that dude up. One of these days, I'm going to fuck that dude up. That dude's disrespectful. And I'm thinking, damn, that fool gave him an extra tray, gave him a whole bunch of extra soap, let him be out on the tier damn near while the whole tier showered. Like, homies already looking at me like, hey, bro, what's up with you, right? I don't know, right? Don't ask me, ask him. I bet you won't. So, this is what happens. So, he was my cellie, like I said. He's going to get off. I'm going to run into him again on a different one. That's going to be part 2. But here's the end of part 1, right? So we're kicking back and it's dinner time. It's the next day after shower time. And this guy automatically thinks he should get extra everything because he's a veteran of Tracy. You know, he's got it like that because he weighs more than everyone else and he'll beat you up better than everyone else. So he automatically, and he's telling me all these stories about how he chokes dudes out, beats them up. He was on the yard in San Quentin for all these years. He's a legend. Everyone knows him. Just a lot of gangster stories, right? And I'm calling bullshit on a lot of them because there's no way. There's no way. I mean, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. And he'll fuck you up, but he's just lying, right? And I've never met a Uso like this to this point. Like, they're always like super serious, hella calm, real quiet. They just read and shit, right? Nah, this Volta was different. This Volta was like, he wanted everyone to see him. And you couldn't miss him. So anyways, and again, just for safety purposes, I wasn't going to call him on his bullshit. Would you blame me? You wouldn't if you seen him, right? So this cop, it's chow time. And this cop is bringing trays. And Big Lion's like, hey, where's my extra tray, Oos? And that cop, it's a different cop. That cop's there, but he's on the other side of the tier feeding. It's like some rookie cop or just some cop. And he's like, you don't get an extra. What makes you different to get an extra tray? And he's like, listen, Oos, tell your partner over there. He knows. The sergeant, he knows, right? And so he says, hey, does cell fucking 2 whoop-de-whoop get a fucking extra tray? And he looks at Lion, he goes, not today, buddy. And Lion goes, hey, Oos, I thought we had an agreement. I wouldn't fuck no one up and you'd give me extra tray. I was like, oh, shit. And I'm looking at the cop through the corner because Big Uso's got his big head in the window. I'm looking through the corner like, don't make him mad. Don't make him mad. Right? Right? Because I don't want him to fucking retaliate because he's upset at me. Plus, I don't even, hey, when he get mad, he start farting and shit. And man, like I said, that wasn't like Hawaiian Breeze. It was different. So he says, I'm going to fuck this cop up, bro. He's trying to play with me. He's trying to disrespect me in front of everyone, in front of all my friends. I'm like, all your friends? This dude was living in his own world. So I thought, okay, another one of his shenanigan lies. All right. So what happened was there was a tier tender. He was a northerner that was leaving. And Lion asked this captain that used to come walk through, hey, can I be the tier tender when this guy leaves? And I ain't going to lie. They knew, every fucking cop knew him. He'd been there 100 times. So they were like, yeah. So as soon as the homie leaves, he comes to the cell like, hey, Lion, I'm going to fucking jam, bro. And we had already been studying for like 2 weeks. And I'm waiting like, does this motherfucker even go to board and get time? Like, he's just here. Like, they just brought him and he's just living there for a while. I'm thinking, get the fuck out already. And I'm waiting to leave. I'm looking at the clock. For real, it's like, please get me away from this Big Uso. His shit are different. I've only smelled one shit in my life that compared to his, and that was Shadow from Sacramento. You already know who it is and what it is, bro. To this day, bro, no one beat you. You still hold the crown. And heavy as the ass that wore it. So that's the one I said, hey, get out of here. Fake a heart attack. So anyways, this fool is like, hey, Oos, I'm going to be jamming today. I was like, oh, shit, you got time? When did you leave? All right. He's like, nah, I'm going to beat this cop up. I see you. Like, stop it, bro. Stop it. Now I got to call bullshit. And just lightweight, a little bit, you know? And I was like, no way, bro. He's like, I am Oos. It was nice meeting you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're a good way. Try to give me a hug and shit. I was like, nah, bro, just back up, right? Not because he wasn't a good homie, but because his fucking fists were bigger than my spine. I'm cool. This fool comes out. He gets to be a tier tender. He comes out. The first time he comes out, that cop comes on shift. He's like, what are you doing out of your cell, lying? He says, I'm a porter now. And that guy was like, nah, because I know how you are. You just like to be on people's doors talking. And that fool was like, he had already had it in his mind. He was like, what'd you say, Oos? And the cop said, you heard what I said. Cell back in. Rack it in. Take it back to your cell. Okay. As I'm looking out the window, I hear this. I'm watching this exchange. He's sweeping on the second tier. This motherfucker ran at a full run. The cop is like doing, not count time, but he's just walking down the, just tripping out on people's cells on the bottom tier. This motherfucker took off at a run. I never seen an Uso run that fast. Ran down the stairs, almost fell down the stairs, did a cartwheel, right? And grabbed that fucking cop by the neck, picked his ass up and started beating the shit out of him. Hey, there was cops in there, about 20 cops in there beating this fool down. This fool still was choking the life out of that cop. I was like, damn. They fucked this fool up. They cracked his shit, his hair. He was, hey, I'm telling you. I was like, oh, shit. Big ooze, right? Hey, the homies, everyone's like, lion. He was getting his. They snatched him up, took him to K-Wing. Tomorrow, part 2. I come back on a violation, and who do I run back into? I'll let you guys figure it out. Bang, bang.